Hello, 6th grade. My name is Mrs. Hammaker, and I'm your orchestra teacher. Today, I'm demonstrating for the violists in our class. This is a viola that I'm holding. And if you've never played the viola before, I just want to go over the strings with you. The largest or the thickest string, this is your low C string. Next to that one is your G, your D, and your A. Whoops, I can hear that I need to tune my instrument, and you may need to tune your instrument too. If that happens, please make an appointment with me to get your instrument tuned, especially on a Wednesday if we're in the hybrid model. And if you're taking your instrument back and forth, home and back, make sure you draw my attention to it in the morning. I will have time to tune your instrument for you before class, so we don't have to waste time with that. So let's get started. This is going to be exercise 2 through 9 in your book. Okay, so I'm all tuned up now. And the first thing we want to do is to remember to put the sponge on the back of our instrument. It's going to go underneath this rubber band here, like this. And it protects our collarbone right here from the hard surface of the viola. So here we are in playing position. Remember to bring your shoulder in underneath the instrument, and your chin doesn't actually hold the instrument, it's your jaw. I know this is called a chin rest right here. This is actually held with our jaw. Okay, and now the next part we're going to learn, if this is new for you, is our orchestra salute. Yeah, I know I'm a big dork, I can't help it. We're going to take our thumb and place it right alongside the fingerboard, right about here. You don't want to do it down here and not way up here. Let's aim for this spot right here. And we're going to use the index finger to pluck the strings. The first string is A that you're hearing. The second string is D, the next one over. The third one down is G string. And the last one, the thickest string, is called C. Now, placing your plucking finger in position over the D string, which will sound like this, we're going to now do exercise number 2 on page 4 in your book. The first note we learn is D. 1, 2, ready, and D, 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 rest. D, 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 rest. D, 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 rest. I encourage you to do each of these exercises at least twice, once with me and then once on your own, so that you can hear your own progress as you go along. This next one is number 3. We're learning to play on the A string now. Again, the orchestra salute. The thumb goes next to the fingerboard and we're going to reach over to the A string. Should sound like this. This is number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. A, rest. A, rest. A, rest. For those of you who are learning online and not coming into school, when you're holding the instrument, remember to not hold the instrument down toward the floor or up toward the ceiling, but it should be parallel with the floor and just an extension, a natural extension off the shoulder here. And your arms should move up and down the fingerboard really, really comfortably and relaxed. Okay, this is the next exercise, number 4, which is called Two's a Team. We're going to be using the D string and the A string this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, 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 rest. A, rest. D, rest. A, rest. You heard it. I made a mistake. Happens all the time. Let's try again. Ready? Go. D, 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 rest. A, rest. D, D, A, D, 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 rest. I'm sure you got it that time too. Remember to do all of the exercises twice. Remember also that if you're starting to feel a little pain or soreness, that you should take a break, at least for 5 minutes. Okay? We're going on now, please, to number 5 at Perrault's door. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, D, D. A, D, rest. A, rest. D, D, A, D, A, D, rest. Now we'll be going on to number 6. Notice in number 6 at the end of the song there's a heavy black line. That heavy black line is signifies the end of the song. It's called a double bar. That's in the gold section in your book, and it helps you learn how to navigate music when you get sheet music. Here's number 6, again on D. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, 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 rest. A, rest. D, D, A, D, 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 rest. Going right on now, please, to number 7. Remember to do each exercise twice, and remember also, very important, to take a break if you need to. Number 7. Beginning on D. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, A, D, rest. A, D, A, rest. D, A, D, A, D, 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 rest. Very good. Going right on now, number 8, count carefully. When we get to the end of the line, you'll notice there's that heavy black line we just learned is a double bar, but there's also 2 dots right in front of it. That means that we repeat the whole line over again. You'll notice that number 9 also has this repeat sign. So when you come to the end, you're just going to circle right on back to the beginning. There's no breaks other than the rest that they give you. I'll teach you how it goes. This is number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, D, rest, rest. A, rest, rest. D, rest. A, rest. D, A, D, repeat. D, D, rest, rest. A, rest, rest. D, rest. A, rest. D, A, D. Great job. Now try it one more time on your own. While you're working through these exercises on page 2 and on page 3, I need to remind you, maybe you don't know this, but that squiggly line looks kind of like a lightning bolt maybe. That's a rest. A rest in music is a silence, whereas a note is sound. So if I were to ask you the opposite of sound, you should say silence. Number 9, please. 1, 2, number 9. D, rest. A, rest. A, D, rest. A, D, rest, rest. D, A, D, repeat. D, rest. A, rest. A, D, rest. A, D, rest, rest. D, A, D, rest. Congratulations, you've now done page 2 and down to the bottom of page 4 and 5. It's 2 and 3 in my book, sorry. Page 4 and page 5. You must think, oh yeah, it's okay. We'll get it caught up. Thank you very much for your attention. Remember, when you're practicing, if you feel like you need a rest, do take a short break. But don't forget to come back. Thank you.